Hi, and thank you for joining us. We are 99 days away from the midterms, and President Trump touched down in Michigan, a battleground state, come November, and where many of the issues currently plaguing Americans and his administration are in focus. On the issue of affordability, 75% of people say their income is not keeping up with inflation, according to a new CBS News poll. And 78% say the administration isn't focused enough on lowering prices. When it comes to the war with Iran, only 19% of people are optimistic, according to our poll, and a majority say the war has been harder than the Trump administration anticipated. Today, the president said people don't see the success of Operation Epic Fury, and that he's making the U.S. safer because he's not going to let lunatics have a nuclear weapon. Michigan is ground zero for the cyclosporiasis outbreak, where cases have swelled past 9,200 in that state alone. It has 40% of Americans overall currently buying or eating less lettuce, according to the same CBS News poll. And 47% say they have not much or no confidence in the FDA to deal with the outbreak. Michigan is also crucial to Republicans maintaining control of the Senate. They'll soon know who they face come November. There's another debate tonight among the Democratic candidates ahead of the state's primary next week. For more, let's bring in CBS News White House reporter Olivia Rinaldi. So, Olivia, let's start in Michigan, one of the most closely watched states this midterm cycle. Here's what the president said about that.
You know, I won the election. We won in a landslide, by the way, and won this state so big. You know, this is always a hard state. I don't know why it's hard to win, but it seems to be for Republicans, but it probably won't be anymore. We have great candidates.
Why is he focusing so much on Michigan?
Well, Lindsay, really for all of the reasons you just expertly laid out there, from the economy to the president talking about how hard hit people are here at home from high gas prices. And if I could add one more thing, tariffs as well. Michigan is unique because they have been experiencing very high tariffs, especially with their neighbors to the north in Canada. The president has been threatening that 50% tariff on Canadian goods right across the border there. So it's a unique position where you're going to see in Michigan really the focus for the midterms, especially with that Senate race. So you mentioned there is the primary next week. There's already early voting going on. The president today really trying to boost a candidate in that state, Mike Rogers, who's running as the Republican in that race. And also the president was in Oakland County. This is a unique county because it voted for Trump, then it voted for Biden, and then it voted for Harris, even though the entire state went to Trump in 2024. So this is one of those areas that they need to do well in come November. So that's why you heard the president today talking about that he's done more for the people of Michigan than their parents have, talking about how his economic policies are working for them, really trying to make that case. But as you also laid out in the polls, some voters just really aren't feeling it. So we'll see the president probably back in Michigan again, just given the fact that this is such a crucial battleground state.
And today, the president asked the Supreme Court to weigh in on his executive order that imposes new restrictions for mail-in ballots and directs DHS to create lists of eligible voters. What do we know about this?
Yeah, this actually just came in. So this was an executive order that the president had signed in March. And basically, they wanted to create a federal list of people who are eligible to vote ahead of the midterm elections. This is, of course, because the president has said over and over and over again that he doesn't believe that mail-in ballots are safe, even though he himself has voted by mail multiple times. So he created this executive order. Then 23 states sued, including the District of Columbia. It's been working its way through the states. There was recently a lower court that upheld a ruling that the president doesn't have the authority to do this, mainly because states set their election laws, and also Congress does as well. This is not something that the executive branch necessarily deals with. So in the effort and the interest of time, the White House is now asking the Supreme Court to take this up. So we'll have to see just how soon they take it up, what the outcome of this could potentially be, because, of course, this is a major issue heading into the midterms, which we are less than 100 days today. Looking forward to those.
Okay, Olivia Rinaldi, thank you.